All right. How you doing?
I'm tired. Sore.
Life?
Yeah. Weather is coming again.
It's coming.
A couple more weeks of this bullshit and spring will be here. Actually, the dogwoods are starting to bloom, so spring's coming very soon.
So, for me, it's like that thing where you're like, what's the last time that you're gonna shovel, right? And just let it melt.
Uh,
So,
yeah, we've been pretty lucky. We haven't had a lot of snow and all that last few years, actually. What the hell did I do there? There.
Anyway, what's new?
Not much. With the IKEA, decided I never had to go there again.
You never have to what?
Go to IKEA again, ever.
Oh, well, because you get lost or what?
It just makes no sense to me at all. We go in a circle to look at shit, then we go down another floor to buy shit. It's just, it makes no sense to me. There's much more efficient ways to display shit than walking through a building 7 times to get
But
to one
that's,
spot.
but you don't, but I don't know. It's, I mean, I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy IKEA, I guess. I mean, it's, I think the idea is that it's more, you get to explore the,
That's not me.
well, you know,
I shop, I'm in and out. I don't like really messing around.
your wife was telling me that.
Yeah, she knows. We're
She
happy that
knows.
way.
She knows. Yeah, no, I don't know what else to say as far as that goes. I mean, excuse me. Might be early this evening. I mean, as far as in time, I am butt ass tired. I know, poor me, right?
Poor you.
It
was like I said, we went there. Jen was looking at cabinets. Like I want her to just design the kitchen cabinets, what she wants, So she was just looking for ideas.
Idea looking, and you're gonna make them or what?
Yeah, I'll make them eventually. Once she gets a finalized idea down. We were talking about I need windows, so I think I'm gonna do the windows before the kitchen. Yeah, I need 13 windows, 14 windows, something like that.
Gotcha.
A lot of windows. And they're quite expensive windows compared to 20 years ago when I did it last, But that was fun. Went to Lowe's, bought the wrong size blade. Don't know why. I got 12-inch stuck in my head. It's a 10-inch saw. But if I know that, when I had to go to Lowe's, I got plenty of 10-inch blades around here. I was in the shop earlier this week because I'm gearing up for another project.
So, I was thinking about like random thing. Like I was thinking about this when it came to games, whatever. And this stemmed from earlier today we had a play test for a game, and I'm not going to say designer or anything about it. But we had a situation where a designer, if we gave you a name, you probably maybe recognize the name, so we don't want to like be saying anything negative about him. No, I mean, so let me put it this way. How important is like an intuitive rule set to like playing a game for you? I mean, and this is just no kind of open-ended question. This is and so like when you're reading the rules, and like when just from reading the rules, you know, like you're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, you know, that kind of thing. So like for me, and this is just my personal, and mind you, the game we played earlier was excellently made. This isn't like anything negative. I'm not trying to be negative about anything. So let me just say this. So for me, like a lot of times back when I was doing videos all the time, I would go to bed, and instead of reading a book, I'd read rules.
Yeah.
And in some cases, if it was a really good rule book, I would be able to see the game in my brain and be able to like, oh, okay, that makes total sense, right? But in a lot of cases, like it just wouldn't make any sense until I had the board in front of me and everything set up.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't mean that if it isn't intuitive, it isn't good. I mean, because there's lots of games where like, oh my gosh, I can't wrap my brain around these rules, like a game like Madeira, for example. But once I played it and understood how to play it, it was really, really good, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm asking, and then I can ask Scott here.
Screw Scott. We don't care
Hey,
about Scott.
CBGB, that's an awesome shirt, dude.
Oh, yeah, I got a t-shirt.
You got a t-shirt?
Is that the actual CBGBs, or is that like a board game geek thing?
No, it's a real one.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
mean,
sweet.
I think it's real. It had the.
Yeah.
Are they still open?
No, I don't think
I didn't
so.
think so. Yeah, I was thinking of
I'm
it.
channeling. Didn't Ricano used to wear like a CBGB shirt?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but his was like the Cardboard Jungle one. You know, that was like it was
Right.
his mock-up of it or whatever that kid had made. Ricano.
Ricano. Anthony.
The Cardboard Jungle. Was it Cardboard CBJB? Something.
CBJG, I think it was like CBJG.
I mean, I like the. It's almost BGG.
Yeah, it is.
I know.
Canadian Board Game Bliss,
There you
excellent
go.
company in Canada
Mhm.
that handles fulfillment really, really well. Like I mean, if you're a publisher and you're
Yeah,
like,
it's
how do I,
interesting. No sales tax, and the shipping is cheap.
yeah, so one
I
of
don't pay
the
sales tax anyway, Scott. So.
one of the cool things about
What's that?
let me finish this. One of the
Okay,
cool
here we-
things. One of the cool things about board, if you're a publisher and you do board game fulfillment in Canada, the cool awesome thing is that you can just ship your stuff for Board Game Bliss to fulfill to their US sided warehouse, and once every 2 weeks they drive over with the truck and pick up all the stuff, and then they handle getting it over the border for you. So you don't have to deal with any weird customs or anything like that. And then and they're really good to work with. They're really, really prompt and with emails and
They're
and just-
Canadian.
you know, they're Canadian, so they're Canadian nice, you know.
Is that legal?
Well,
I'm sure it's somehow, Scott. I mean,
you know, yeah, so
I don't
they're
know.
super-
I'm sure they
handle
wouldn't
it-
be
Well, don't
around
say
if
any-
it wasn't.
if it's not legal, don't say anything. Because get yourself in trouble. Don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, get
So
back
wait,
to your
so if you're a
question.
publisher,
Scott.
so you basically ship to them on the US and then they pick it up.
yeah.
Oh, that's probably, yeah, sure. That's
Yeah.
fine. I mean,
So
seems right
so-
to me.
so here I asked this question and you can answer. How important is an intuitive rule set to you to play the game? Like even if you're not like reading the rules, like if it's something where it's like
Oh.
even if it's something where it's like, oh, you're playing the game and like the iconography on the cards and the mechanics of the stuff you're playing, everything like that, like it has to just flow well. And like and then of course that this seems like a softball, you know, loaded question, like when the radio guy, you know, has the special guest and answers the question in the question, you know, it's like, hey, I noticed your sports football team really had a lot of unity once you got that really positive head coach in there. What do you think that did as far as helping you have a winning atmosphere? You know, it's like they load up the softball.
Yeah,
and
it's a
hand it-
softball question.
Yeah. So it seems like a softball question,
So,
right? Where it's just like,
I
how
guess-
important is a good rule set to enjoying a game? But I
Every
mean,
time I have to look at a rule book, in a rule, like you can read the rules, then play the game, right? And then every time we have to pause and stop and read the rule book again, that's a negative for me. Like, how did that work? You know, like you have to,
Yeah, I see what
like
you're
every time we do that, and it should be just obvious, right? Like you'd be like, oh yeah, it's got to be this. That's an intuitive,
saying.
intuitive,
Yeah,
you know, characteristic of a game that is intuitive, meaning you don't have to look at the rule book that often.
yeah.
At least that's my opinion about it.
So, and I've told the story before, so I apologize, but just to reference it again, it's been a few years since he's come to visit me, but like the last time Scott Nicholson came to my house and played games with me, which was awesome for him to do. He pulled a game off of the shelf. He's like, I've always wanted to play this, and it was still in shrink. And I said, yeah. And he's like, oh, let's play it. And so there was 4 of us, and he was like, he said something like, okay, Mr. still has an active YouTube channel. Teach us the game. And he handed me the rules, and I started reading the rules to everybody. And I was just like, and we're going through it. And I remember Scott said something like, okay, we're gonna find the fun, guys. We're gonna find it. We're still looking, but we're gonna find it. And I remember we were sitting there, and I remember like,
Remember what game it was?
I do, but I don't want to trash on the game, just because the game was garbage anyway. But I mean, it was like one of those things. But I remember he just like, after we tried to muddle through the game for like 20 minutes, like he went on this hilarious rant about horrible rule books and horrible games and how did this ever get published. And he said this is a prime example of something where like the designer was always present during during the play testing of the games.
We actually just played a game that is not that hard to learn called Kazuko. You heard of that?
I heard of it.
Yeah.
You're basically, I think, and I talked about it, right? And there's a missing rule in the rule book. It's not obvious if you've never played it before and never seen it played.
Right.
Meaning every round you take all your animals off the board and reset. If you don't do that, it changes the game dramatically. In fact, it makes it almost unplayable. But it's not in the rule book, and we searched high and low for that rule, and we couldn't find anything on BGG or anything. So
one of my favorite games of all time. I can't think of it.
But it's your favorite.
Well, no, I mean, I can picture the game. You roll dice and you put dice in quadrants of the city and you activate those parts of the city. And then there was like, they did one expansion for it, which was the Sisters of, what was the name of the game?
Trois.
Or Troyer or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so in that game, I forget what it is, but basically it's something to do with the number of dice that can be loaded. Oh no, the number of times a certain action can be done or something like that. Was like the graphical implementation of the game made it look like it was limited, but it was actually not. It was unlimited. And then I remember and when I did my video for that game, which I'm not going to go watch it because I look really young in that. When I did my video for that, somebody said those are actually unlimited, and I was just like, I don't think so. And they're like, no, it's in the rules. And it was literally, it was like a sidebar of a sidebar in the the addendum. Oh, by the way, you can do this. It's like you had to search and search and search to find it. It was ridiculous.
So, Lance, what is your question about the rule book or the gameplay
just in general,
itself?
just like the gameplay itself. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna be there's certain things that make sense. Like, oh, I'm going to spend wood so I can make this ladder. Well, I'm making a ladder out of wood. Things like that. I mean, that's not an actual. When I mine that asteroid, I'm getting iron ore because that makes sense. I'm not mining asteroids and getting green fission cubes or something. It's one of those things where it's like, if it doesn't, the actual game doesn't flow well. Like if you're just discard a card and push that there and push that there for no other reason other than just because that's what the game says you should be doing. I don't know. It's something
also
that I
just like magic numbers in games.
You just like what?
Magic numbers.
What do you mean by that?
Like every round you draw 4 cards or some number that.
Oh, okay.
like has to be remembered.
The rule of threes.
Like,
stuff
and it's
that,
not written on the board anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
what? How many cards are we getting in?
Mhm.
7, 6.
Yeah. Okay, I get
5.
that.
We're playing a bunch around. I forget it was something we just played. Hold on, let me check my game log because now I log on my game so I can remember what I played. I'll tell you which one it was. And we're like, we can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, it's
Well, to me, it depends on the game, like the complexity of the game and all that. If it's a real complex game, I'm sure I'm not going to see, the intuitiveness of it right away. Yeah, till I get the game set down. But for the most part, yeah, it has to be pretty intuitive. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was just something that I thought about the same. I am more and more and more just like moving into the world of like I don't want to play a game with 1,000 rules anymore. I just don't. I just even with somebody teaching the game, like when I played Acropolis, it was just kind of like, yeah, this game's good.
You remember you get the rules like in a minute.
Yeah.
And you're done.
It was something on it was Findorf. So I played the latest Freedom and Freeze game. It's really good, actually. I like it.
Findorf? I didn't hear
Which I don't think it's going to get very much notice because the theme is weird.
No.
It's like rebuilding the city of Findorf, which is where he is from.
Yeah, I
Bremen.
did hear about this one. Yeah.
Actually, it's not the city of Findorf, it's the city of Bremen. At least I think that's the theme. Mr. Findorf. Oh, build up Findorf. I guess it is a city. It's a district of Bremen, the hometown. It's named after Jürgen Christian Findorf. 3 Fs, by the way.
Wait a minute.
Who was responsible for draining and surveying the bog in the north of Bremen for extracting the peat and populating the bog with residents. It's good. Every building you build is worth 25 points or 50 points.
Okay.
And they're vastly different. Like some of them are really cheap to make and some are really expensive to make, and they all are 50 points. And they all bring in different amounts of like income and like powers. So like it's like the more expensive ones theoretically give you more stuff, but they're still worth 50 points at the end of the game. So it's pretty cool. It's quite different. And our turns were like instant. Except there was like one moment where like, there was something like missing off the board. I'm like, well, we're missing something. We had to keep remembering. Anyway. Minor.
Yeah.
But it was something we kept having to look up.
Yeah.
I'm like, can't remember what it was now. It was not written on the board. Anyway, that's a minor nitpick. But there's plenty of games where I'm like, how many cards do we get? 4, 6. Yeah.
Well, you're only playing it once too, right, Scott? I mean,
I only play a game once unless it's really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 51st State, the first version of that was not intuitive.
I could not play that game. In fact, we played it wrong. We didn't understand the scoring because it was like a scoring where you score and you keep your score and then you add your score again. Like you keep scoring every turn instead of all at the end. Like we were like thinking it was all at the end, and then like didn't make sense. So yeah, we messed that up. I got the new version of it though. I haven't played it in 20 years, so I'm very curious to play it.
The newer, I haven't played the latest one, but the one before this was much better than the original version, Scott. I mean,
well, the one he also did
that North
offshoot of that Empires of the North I liked a lot, which I don't think that was as much of a direct descendant. It's more it was the other one. I'm sure Kabuki Kid with it.
The little cartoony one. I could see what you're saying.
Yeah, little tiny text like that big.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the my favorite things in 51st State was if you had a leader, right? But then you wanted to put a different leader in because you like that leader better. You expend a bullet resource to get rid of your old leader to put in the new one.
Which one's that?
51st State. Basically,
really?
It was you had to expend a bullet resource.
Yeah, there's a lot of humor in that if you look at it. Yeah, it was a good game. I don't know what the new version's about, but I don't think I need it. Yeah.
But
what
yeah.
about cool stuff? Or not cool stuff. Fun again. They're going down to just
Shutting
their
down again.
brick and mortar stores. Yeah.
No, they're shutting down their online store.
Yeah.
When they've already shut down their fulfillment company, I think.
Yeah, I did read that.
I mean, we heard that before, right? I'm sure that it's for good this time. I think I'm guessing. I mean, it was pretty serious post.
Yeah,
I read their press release about it. Wasn't that the thing they said last time? I mean, something like that.
Something along those lines. I have thoughts that I won't share.
You should.
Yes, so I have no comment
No
on the
comment.
current. I have no comment on the current conversation.
I saw it. Yeah, Rado. Because that was Rado's sponsor, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It was. He's looking for another sponsor.
I couldn't
There's
tell
not
you.
many
I-
left.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was his sponsor. He took some heat. I remember when. All right, we can stop talking about this. We'll just move on. Go on to another conversation. So I took my jacket off because it was hot. Now I'm cold.
Going through menopause, Scott.
What's that?
We going through menopause?
I don't know what I'm going.
Did you
through.
just take medication?
No,
No. That happened to me sometimes.
I don't
after
know what
medication.
happened. I just got
Yeah.
cold. I'm on medication.
No, I mean right after taking it. you
No,
know.
no, I didn't take it. I took it. I take it in the morning, and then I take it in like another hour and a half if we're still around. I played some good games this weekend. I had fun. We played that Findorf game, which I really like. I think that's a very good game.
Will you play it again?
Only if my group wants to. I would like to, but I don't think I really need to play it again. Like I know it now. I mean, I don't. You know, I would play it again if someone wanted to play it again, but I don't think the group will want to play it again. Here's my guess.
Mm.
Maybe they won't. Let me see what else I played.
No, I was gonna say that's the only you remember.
Mhm.
No, I brought up the list and I've now lost train of thought. Oh, I played the Lord of the Rings adventure book game. You guys heard of that?
No.
Do you remember the Princess Bride game? The book. It's like a book. Hold on. What am I doing? My thing's all.
Say it's like a book another time.
The Lord of the Rings adventure book game.
Is it like a book?
It's like a book. It's a bunch of scenarios in a book, and you go through each one, and it's a map.
Yeah.
And you play on it, and it's the Lord of the Rings. You guys have heard of that property?
A little property, yeah.
Pretty famous. And that's pretty cool. We played the whole thing. It's 8 scenarios.
8 scenarios. Okay.
And you don't control any one character. You control, like, when you take your turn, you move who you want to move. So,
Okay.
and not all the characters are on every scenario. So the first one is the 4 hobbits or 5 hobbits. I can't remember now. And Gandalf and Strider. And then you're like, Gandalf like immediately goes off the board, like you've done. And then, it's thematic, theoretically. But then, then you have to go meet Strider at the pub or what is it? The Prancing Pony, something like that.
Yeah, something.
And then you go to Weathertop. And you have to do all these things, and it's cool. And then you have a ring. There's a thing called a One Ring. You heard of that? If you use the ring too much, you start becoming corrupt. And if you go corrupt 15, you lose the game wholly. But if you just lose the scenario, you start over. Does this make sense? So you just keep replaying it so you don't lose. Now we didn't lose any scenarios. No, we did lose one. We lost the Moria one, the Casa Doom. Which was cool. Like that's when it started getting hard. Like the first 2 were pretty simple. We used the ring a few times, and then you keep adding your corruption onto your game, so you don't ever reset like that.
Oh, okay.
You have 15. If it hits 15, you basically just lose.
So you're saying like the characters are communal?
Yeah. So on your turn, you do a free move, which means you can move 1 or 2 spaces.
Mhm.
And you can move any character, or you can move 2 characters once or 1 character twice, something like that. And so let's say you're going to move Frodo and Sam, and then then you can play cards in your hand to do more stuff, and you have to accomplish all these goals and missions to advance through the scenario. And then you go to the next. So you just keep repeating that, and they all have. Each one is different. They all got different mechanics and rules and stuff. It's all the same mechanics, but all the rules are different for every scenario.
Right.
And it's based on the movie and book. And it is fun.
It's fun.
And I think there's a series of, I had a good time with it. We just went through the whole thing. We're like, do we want to stop? And we're like, because we're like a couple hours in, and like we played for like 2 hours. I'm like, do we want to stop or we just want to finish it? We just finished it.
So how long did it take you to do the whole?
It's like 2.5 to 3 hours.
3 hours.
The whole thing, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And then like I said, we replayed Moria twice. We lost the first time. The Balrog. I wanted to say Baldur. The Balrog knocked Gandalf off the bridge.
Okay. Poor Gandalf.
Which is like a scenario lose situation. But it's cool because you have to juggle your like how much you want to use the corruption of the ring versus finishing the scenario and not, or that kind of, it's good. It was an entertaining 2.5 hours.
Okay.
I won't play it again.
Never.
No point.
Probably don't have to, yeah.
Maybe with some other different people, but I would play it. But there's really no reason to play it again.
Right.
There is no Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil always gets the shaft in these Lord of the Rings. Was Tom Bombadil like a big character in the books? Like I didn't read them. Like
Not
I don't
really.
Because people always bring that up.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He wasn't massively.
Was he powerful?
Well, that was the whole thing. He was just kind of a person that, for lack of a better term, was just kind of
there.
He was an anachronism. It was like there's even this moment where like Frodo hands him the ring and he takes it and he just kind of looks at it and he goes, "Oh, isn't that interesting?" And like it has no effect on him and he just hands it back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, he's just kind of like.
I guess they maybe didn't put it in the movie because it sort of breaks the.
Yeah, it is.
Flow of it.
It is totally a thing that just like it doesn't fit. It's not really. Yeah.
Okay. He resists the corruption of the ring. Bit of a fascinating character. Bit divisive. Okay. Yeah, so Lord of the Rings. Then we played the Night Cage. Do you remember that game?
Okay.
The Night Cage. It's pretty cool. Although I asked everybody if we wanted to play again, and nobody did. Although I wanted to play, I was like, we played one mission or one scenario. You basically are stuck in a dungeon. It's not even a dungeon; it's a jail. That's lightless and limitless. It's quite interesting. So you can only see 1 hex past where you are in your in the maze.
Okay.
And when you step away, anything that's left in darkness is taken off the board. And then when you go back, it's a new tile. And so you have this stack of tiles, like let's say like 40 tiles. And once you run out, you lose completely. So you have to sort of conserve tiles. You're flipping tiles over looking for keys, right? Every single player needs a key. And then you have to all get to the gate at the end. And you're in this darkness. And there's these weird monsters that will attack. Anytime you move, they will attack you. So it gets into like this interesting puzzle mechanic. Like if you move out of the way, the monster will like go past, but anybody that's over on the edge of the board in that line would get hit. So you have to kind of like be careful to not set it's a cooperative game. One of your other players get, eaten by the monster.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. It's like you're playing in the dark, and I like that mechanic of the endless maze. And if you fall, you're falling forever. And then until you come back on the board. Like, so it's an infinitely tall jail that you fall through onto itself. Just kind of cool.
Hmm.
I thought it was clever.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah. Except nobody wanted to play it.
Maybe
You
I'll play with you
awaken in the
down
dark,
Dallas.
your skin cold, your mind blank, you have nothing but your fear, a flickering candle, and a question: how long will your light last? You're basically your wax is burning down, and the monsters are called wax eaters. So they're basically trying to eat.
Yeah.
Once you run out of tiles, you like lose. So we won, played it once, and I thought it was pretty cool, but nobody else wanted to play again.
Sons of bitches.
It came out in 2021. I feel like that came out earlier than 2021.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, didn't it? Didn't it? I don't know. I feel like it was out earlier. It says 2021. And then we played Micro Macro again.
How much?
Because why wouldn't you?
How much game replayability do you get out of that? The base games.
None.
None.
But it comes with like 15 missions that take half an hour each.
Okay.
You know, there's no replayability, but it's only like a $20 to $30 game, and you just pass it on. Yeah, there's no point to keep it. But it's pretty clever. I'm really impressed. You know, I was impressed with it last time I played it.
Yeah. Generally, I played that Disney's Villainous. I want to play it again.
I'm not excited. I'm not excited by Villainous. I like the properties, and I like the idea of being a villain.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
But gameplay just was not fun.
We only played it the once. That's what I was telling the Jen. Like, the only player interacted I had to use, and I didn't realize that till like halfway through the game. You know, just because the character she was using.
Which character was she playing?
Oh, what was it? I was Hook, and she was Maleficent. I think so.
Did she win?
Yes.
Hook is pretty easy.
Yeah, but I didn't realize I had to play against her to stop her from reaching certain spells or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's only to take that game.
And
she'll just keep doing her thing until you you can only play offensive spells to stop somebody, right? You don't really interact unless you're putting negative cards on her.
Yeah. And,
in a multiplayer game, you can't hit the same person twice.
Oh, okay.
They have a rule for that. But on a 2-player game, it just back and forth, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I got to play it again. I don't really know how I feel about it.
Yeah, the Night Cage was cool. I really liked it. In fact, I might keep it just in case we might play it again.
I think I'd like to play with you down in Dallas, Scott.
Cool. It's in the library. I'll pull it out.
Okay. We got to remember, though. I will forget in 2 months. I know that.
When you think when we're looking for a game, remember that game. Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah, me and Joe were just talking about that. Like I said, I want to get in.
Doing anything else besides coming to BGCon? Or are you doing other things?
I'll have a day for her to do something. We don't know what yet. You know, she might
in
go
Dallas or
in the area. On the way, we're still talking. We might hit Memphis, depending on the timing of when we hit.
Yeah, Memphis is 8 hours away from us.
It's 8 hours from Dallas.
From Dallas, yeah, pretty much solid 8. Yeah.
Right. Then it's further from me than I thought. Okay.
I've driven that 2 times.
Did you?
I should say Michelle drove it. We went there for Thanksgiving. And then we drove through Memphis when I was going to see my dad.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hit all of that.
My stepsister lives in Memphis. That's why we stopped.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll hit all that both there and back. We were actually talking about going to Bowling Green, Tennessee, is it? Kentucky? I forget. Her people were from there. Way back. Yeah. They were farmers out there. So that's a little bit out of the way. We haven't really decided yet. Because we never do. I
guess you could go over to Fort Worth.
I've been there actually.
The tourist part of Dallas.
Yeah, we were there.
Dallas, different city, right? But it's when people come to Dallas and they want cowboy stuff, they go to
Fort Worth. Yeah, we went there the last time we were there. The cattle driver.
Yeah,
and all that. Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
They have a rodeo and
they
walked the cows
Cows.
through the town at noon or something.
It's,
Yeah, Bowling Green, Kentucky is the home where the Corvette is made.
oh, really? I didn't know that.
Thanks, Stick H.
Ah.
That's where Bonacore picked up his Corvette.
No, is
Yeah.
it? Huh. Yeah, I was thinking about Nashville. There's a lot of like Gibsons out there, and the music scene in general. The
Yep.
guitar factories out there. I think I would like to see that. Do a tour of that one day. See how they're made.
We went to Nashville for a wedding, and we didn't see much else besides the heat of the city. Hot. And hot chicken.
Hot chicken. Yeah, I won't do that to myself.
Gotta go to Hattie B's.
Patty B's.
There's a Hattie B's here in Dallas now.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I'm scared of it though, because last time I had hot chicken was a year ago, like right around this time, March.
Hmm.
And I got the worst food poisoning in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why people do that to themselves.
Well, I wasn't expecting the food poisoning. I'll take the heat. The food poisoning was not great.
Oh. It never is.
Oh yeah, you could also see the JFK Memorial.
I did that. That was kind of morbid. And then I thought the people were kind of idiots.
Morbid?
Like when I was there, one dude had a camera out. He stepped in the middle of the road where the X is, trying to get a picture of the building while oncoming traffic's coming at him. It's like,
yeah,
it was interesting, but like I said, it was kind of morbid to me. Yeah. We were thinking about the
Brought to you by Dr. Pepper Cherry Syrup.
the Purdue.
I will
No,
accept all. We are not brought to you by NordVPN. Though. I'm a little bit.
Never heard back from the NordVPN guys.
Never heard back after I think I gave them a very
Very generous offer.
Very low ball offer and never heard back. So even after I felt I had crossed the path when they said, esteemed collaborator or whatever.
Esteemed. Then they sell your numbers.
I offered him a pittance.
Pittance.
For all 9 subscribers.
All 9.
Oh.
Actually, what are your views? Do your old videos get views?
Like yeah, they do all the time.
Anything worth talking about, or
no? I mean, I
like
YouTube cuts me a check still every month, so I mean,
yeah, why not? Passive income, bunch of nickels, man.
Yeah,
oh, dimes. What?
Yeah, whatever. These how-to videos are going to be getting me pennies. Which maybe they will, and I love Forrest to death, so. He
was anybody else coming out tonight?
I don't know. Who cares?
Just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, we had to just continue our weekly schedule at the very least. Like I said, I'm feeling kind of tired. It might be an early one here. I was trying to think of things that have been bothering me or bugging me lately anyway. So, which is difficult to. I don't know. What I've decided, I absolutely despise clickbait titles. Just absolutely despise them. And how like every
even all the newspapers are doing that too.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm subscribed to like New York Times and Dallas News, and I'm like, just give me the headline.
I mean, I get it. It gets clicks, right? They wouldn't do it if it didn't get something. But I mean,
yep.
And again, that's because they don't make stuff for old people anymore. They make stuff for young people because young people will be around longer.
Yes.
So, I mean, it is what it is, as they say, which never is. I mean, which is a crummy thing to say. I mean, I hate is what it is. It drives that saying drives me crazy. As my wife says, nobody ever says it about anything good. So why don't you just say it sucks? Because that's what because that's what people want to hear.
Yeah. Because they don't want to hear anything positive.
Well, no, I mean,
Usually
like I
now
said,
what I'm doing is just reading the comments and see if someone just cuts to the chase, so I don't have to click on it.
Yeah,
Not dumb.
that is dumb.
Like now
Yeah.
I'm forced, like I don't want to click because I got to go to the website and go through all their bullshit ads and
Yeah.
to get the headline and read it and
It's just me and
just
Joe.
give me the headline. Just give me the headline, please. Stop doing the stupid clickbait.
well,
shit.
that and what's the thumbnail for the video always has to be somebody like, just like, I hate this. I
Yeah, those
I
are
just-
not great.
but again, it's not being made for me.
I'm trying to see if there's one that I just found the other day. What was it? It was something recent. It was a Dallas headline. Oh, it was a theme park being up. They were debating a theme park being opened in Frisco,
Okay.
which is basically the next city up, couple
Right.
cities up. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, instead of a theme park, they could have said what kind of theme, like Universal Studios theme park is the answer. That's what I was looking for. I was like, well, who's opening a theme park?
Yeah. I
Oh,
did hear about
Universal
this.
Studios.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know. But I have to go read the article, sign in, because I'm a subscriber, so I pay. Anyway,
Well, no, and the ones or the ones I don't like is like when the title of the link, instead of just being, because I'm so old. I remember
You'll-
when like CNN.com had actual like the title of the link was the actual news article,
the
and
head-
it wasn't,
Yeah,
and it
there
wasn't
was no
some-
reason to click.
There was,
Right.
now it's like Harry Potter actor dies in overdose, and you're like,
It's like
what? And you click on it. Oh, the guy who was in one scene and
Yeah,
had one line in the entire movie.
one of the kids in the first movie. Okay,
Yeah.
Mm.
I guess technically that headline is accurate,
true. Yeah,
Tiger.
but you're a jackass for phrasing it like that. And it's just like stuff like that just drives me fucking nuts. But again, the world isn't. There's it's just, you either have to. I mean, I guess I can scream at the clouds and but it won't do you any good. And I guess I can take comfort in the fact that all of us. I mean, this happens to all of us, right? We get phased out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, you do.
yeah,
We are
Just,
obsolete.
just the only thing we got going for us is that most of us have money, so they still want to like get our money. Our corporate masters.
Yes.
I get emails
So-
from the Board Game Geek Store all the time. You guys are having flash sales all the time.
Yeah, I know.
we
What's
started
up
a
with
new
that?
thing called flash sales. Yeah, we did this thing. That's a new thing.
I forgot to check this week's out.
You
Yeah,
missed? Oh well, it was
When-
a Burgle
when-
Brothers, $4
When do they drop, Scott? Is it usually Wednesday?
Wednesday. New.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, those have been a good idea.
Yeah, glad you thought of it. Or somebody thought of it.
Yeah, they do pretty well.
well, the trick is you get them in there, and they're like, "Well, I might as well order this other stuff while I'm here." So
Oh yeah, there's that.
Miniature Market recently came back with their deal a day. They hadn't done deal a day in a long time, but now they're back.
What was the
back at
deal
it.
of the day? I don't think I ever bought anything. I remember they used to have the drop. Remember that?
They had the drop, yeah, but they brought back the
They,
deal of the
they
day.
got rid of that.
I can
Yeah.
remember when the deal of the day was usually something worth mentioning. Like it was like, I can remember. Now this is crazy. So now it's like deal of the day is, how can we possibly get rid of these games, that like these hundreds of games that we have on our shelf that we couldn't sell. And it makes sense, right? It's like, oh, you want to have free shipping for $100. Well, we're going to sell you this game for 20, and you're going to want to get free shipping.
5 of them.
So yeah, 5 of them. Yeah. Well, they'd probably be happy to send you 5, right? And get the $100 out of you, and get those off, and get that dead money off their shelf. Anyway, No, so what was I gonna say? Oh, so but I can remember back when it was actually like like places like Tanga or Posey and stuff like that. Well, not Tanga for a while, but then they kind of became horrible too. But like their deal of the day was like, oh hey, this game that like recent this fantasy flight game that's normally like $60, we're selling it to you for 30, and it was like, and it wasn't like it was like Arkham Horror for $30, and you're like, holy shit.
Right.
If I didn't already own it, I'd buy that in a heartbeat, because it was a really good price.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's like pile of shit that we can't sell for 35% off instead of 25% off.
Like giving away
Yeah,
Scott
I mean,
secrets.
I'm running into a major space problem.
Are you?
We're gonna have some good flea market this year.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure. I have to have a conversation with Laney and see what the plan is.
The flea market, like that's when you have the thing, $10 a
What's that?
pop or whatever.
Yeah, everything's $10, except for we pull out the stuff that's
Worth it.
what we feel is worth. If it's worth more than $450, we pull it out. If we can eyeball it and go, oh yeah, it's worth more than 50, we just pull it aside and sell it different. It's still cheaper than you would buy it. We don't go for full value. But we do try to extract a little value out of the good stuff. Well, say good stuff, say rare stuff.
Right. What do you mean by space guy? From the library or the store?
Everything. It's just all
Just in
kind of
general.
balanced. Yeah, in general, we gotta scale back.
Logistics, they fun.
All crazy Aldi is so crazy.
Is
That one of those sales.
yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so the Geek Bits was the flash sale was like a sort of way to like, because there's a lot of stuff I don't think people really realize what we've got.
I agree with you, Scott.
I mean, I don't think we put out that much promotional material about these things. Like
No.
we don't do Kickstarters, we don't do any kind of like pre-orders. So we just got to sell it when we sell what we have. So we have to do a little bit of stimulation of the market, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you, Scott.
You got to give them a reason to come to your website.
Yeah, it's what I think of the BGG store. Like I don't really think of games. I think of the promos and
yeah, I think promos have been way less. I mean, we have a lot of promos, don't get me wrong, but I think less promos since now every Kickstarter creator has promos.
Yeah.
Like Game Boy Geek, Dice Tower,
Yeah.
Manvers Meeple. They all have like, if you back them, you'll get like 100 promos.
Right.
Right. So promos are hard to find and way less interesting now, I feel.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how the hobby is changing. No, it's weird how the hobby is changing. Like the promos were the thing back in the day, and then the bits were, but now everything's deluxeified basically on Kickstarter. Yeah.
Fantastic plastic.
Fantastic.
What am I gonna tell you guys? Oh,
Couldn't tell you.
well, we can keep talking about board games, but I can also talk about pinball.
Oh,
I picked the right time to get into pinball.
it's on a down slope.
There are like 6 machines being released this month. Isn't that crazy? That's a lot of fucking pinball.
It is. How much is it?
It's the new
Foo
board
Fighters.
games.
It must be. There must be something to it. So Foo Fighters,
Right.
James Bond, The Godfather just came out today.
The Godfather.
I'm like, The Godfather? Like what?
Yeah, 40
How is
old
that
movie.
It's a pinball machine now. It's 50th anniversary.
Who gets Fredo?
There's another one called gosh, I'm drawing a blank on all the names. Oh, Pulp Fiction got announced today.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction pinball? What do you do? Like stab Uma Thurman in the?
Yes.
I mean,
Hopefully.
I'm very curious to see what they picked from Pulp Fiction to put into a pinball machine.
Yeah.
And then if it'll have movie clips too, that'll be interesting too. Like, because a lot of the thematic pinball machines have call outs and movie clips and all kinds of stuff. It's like, There's more, but I'll leave it at those.
Okay.
They're non-branded that I can tell. They're like not IP, you know.
Right. How much does the average pinball machine go for now, Scott? Like no one.
Too much.
Well, that's everything.
I can bring up the price of the Foo Fighters machine if you want.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's not cheap. You thought board games were expensive.
For what they are, yeah.
Well, I assume those are.
So the lowest price Foo Fighter is $7,000.
$7,000.
6,999.
Hmm.
One level up from that, it's 9,699. So 9,700. And one step up from that is 12,999, $13,000. So 9,700 and 13,000. That's for a new machine. Now, if you go look at the old used stuff, you can get a better deal.
Oh yeah, obviously.
This is new prices.
I'm just curious because like this is more like a boutique type deal. Like they're not really made to make money anymore. Like arcades aren't really.
Yeah, like
thing.
if you, I don't see how you could buy a $9,000 machine and make any money on it. Like, or what's the cheapest one? What did I say? 7?
Yeah.
Let's say $1 a game.
Well, I can see like if again if you had a pinball arcade or something, you know, like on the boardwalk or something, I could see that maybe.
I just don't think people play that much.
Uh,
Now the Cidercade here is $20 free play.
Hmm.
And then I suspect they make money from the boot, you know, from booze.
yeah, most likely.
From cider.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's kind of like a board game cafe. They're making money on the
yeah, but I think there's
pastries and all.
I think running machines in a route or whatever you call it. Get something on my shirt. Running machines in a route is I don't know. How do you make money that way? Because that's an expensive investment to put a new machine out to get it $1 at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they did it before, but like I said, the popularity of it just isn't what it used to be.
No, I think video games are, you know, I mean, arcades used to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, isn't there a scene in the Last of Us where they go to an arcade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fully
yeah,
functional in the apocalypse? I've not seen that scene, but I know
Yeah.
of it.
Fully functional. There's movie magic.
Was it read by the zombies?
So I mean, I'm not gonna talk any spoilers of Last of Us or anything like that.
I've seen the first episode, so you can spoil that one.
No, I mean, but
I don't even remember
I'm not
that
gonna
one.
spoil it for anybody for anything,
Okay.
right? You know, so
Got
but I will say that like yes, the actual like video game is transferring over
Pretty well.
pretty well, but like it is making for a very, very like quick season. I'll say that. It's just gonna like, you know,
But I feel like that's the way it should be, though. Do you want to get dragged into a multi-season, non-finished movie show?
I don't know. I feel like
There's so much disappointment in that, though.
for
Yeah.
you maybe.
For me, for sure. I mean, we talked about all these shows we watch, and then the endings are never great.
Yeah, that's true.
But a really well done one season show, I'm done. I'm into.
Yeah.
2 seasons at most, you know.
2 seasons and I'm out.
2 and I'm out.
How much time you got, man? Like, I want, there's more stuff coming. So I don't want to be sucked into one thing. Now, if it's a Breaking Bad, sure. Give me Breaking Bads all day long. But you will not get that on every time.
No, you won't. Well, even then you didn't. That was a little rough the first season. Yeah,
Was it?
I thought
I
it
was hooked from day one on that. Now, I didn't watch it when it came out. I think I got into it 3 seasons in.
Yeah, I think I was the same way.
Inhaled it,
Yeah.
binged it, and then watched everything the week it came out. Like I would record it and then I would watch it.
Yeah, I got into it afterwards too. I after that, what was that one about with the programmers?
Silicon Valley.
No, the other one. It was
Not
kill, set fire.
Oh yeah, Halt and Catch Fire.
I was watching that, and then I seen.
I was disappointed with that one too. I was disappointed with the end.
I can't remember.
Sad ending.
Oh yeah, I do remember it. Yeah.
But there was lots of that show I did like. It felt funny because I was in that frame of the computer industry, like not the early part, but the middle part where the internet comes on.
Yeah.
Like the first season was like the Apple comes out, or the IBM, it was IBM clones. And then the Apple comes out, and then her video game company kicks in. I mean, it's a really great show. If nobody's watching, if you're not watching Halt Catch Fire, it's so cool.
Yeah, it was a good show.
But it is saddled with a lot of sadness.
Yeah.
In my opinion. A lot of heartache.
Yeah. But sometimes I don't know.
I was going to ask, have you guys watching any of season 3 Picard?
I've seen I didn't see this week's, but we've seen the last
fan service.
Pretty much. What did you expect?
Are you trying to sell tickets?
I mean, there was just like
subscriptions.
They're bringing back the TNG crew. That's all. Yeah.
It was just like, yeah.
They said, well, this is the last Picard. They said that, but they said the Discovery's ending too. Not Discovery's ending too. Next season, I think. So,
who's all back?
Everybody but Crusher, Wesley.
Yeah, I mean, the season's not over yet, so who knows?
No Wesley.
No Wesley.
Well, they didn't part on the best of ways, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I think they healed the sense that was 30 years ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty involved with the behind the scenes shit and all that. And,
Okay.
They've gone to cons and cruises and shit together.
He stopped tweeting, didn't
he? I don't know. To be honest,
what's his social? He doesn't do any of that social stuff anymore that I know of.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I don't really keep track of people like that, but I don't know if I'd want to live in a world like that, where everybody's in your business all the time. You're posting constantly. Like Kevin Smith does that a lot, and pretty much anybody, the Kardashian, anybody with any interest. Yeah, I'm sure they got their own private stuff, but a lot of it's out there in the world. Yeah. I'm sure it can't be good with your mental health.
Yeah. I think there was something else I wanted to ask you guys your opinion on too. I'm trying to remember what it was. Well, if it doesn't come back to me, it's fine.
Well, speaking of bad endings, I was watching.
I got my Frosthaven.
Oh
you
yeah,
got it? Did you open it?
It's a heavy motherfucking box. My God, holy crap! It is very heavy.
Very heavy. Is it a bit bigger than the other one? The big one?
Yeah.
Is it?
For sure.
Oh, I was going to relate this story.
Oh.
So, I don't want to, do it too deep of a dive here, but I mean, um, on occasion, I have to go and do things with one of my kids, and there's usually a wide selection of adults there, and there's always one adult who, like, he gives off the creepiest vibe. He sits off by himself. He's got like headphones in, and then he's got
AirPods.
the AirPods, but then he's got like these I can tell they are because there's the cord, which is fine. That's the kind I use too, the stuff that dangle from a cord, because I don't like, so if you,
They're not,
so if
not
you
the
take
Apple ones.
no,
Right, they're tethered.
yeah, and they have a magnet that puts
Yeah.
together. I like those because if I take them out and I drop them, they magnetize, and I don't have to worry about them falling out, because I hate not being able to hear people. But anyway, so he's got something like that, which fine, but then he's got like these earmuffs that like wrap around the back of his head, kind of like just so it's even more, I can't hear anything else that's going on around me.
Yeah.
And he kind of sits off to the side, and he's always like voraciously like reading a book, but he's listening to the audiobook of the book that he's reading. And then every once in a while, no, because I'm a creepo, and I just, like, oh, I'm wandering by here looking at this thing over the wall here, just because because this guy was,
You're creeping on his
well, because he looked
on his
Okay.
Audible.
And
he
he's
looked
the creep.
scary. He looked scary. No, he looked weird, right? And my curiosity got the best of me. So I saw like the names of the books that he was reading, and then I walked over, and like you could see his no, I get that saying. Then you could see his phone was out, and the phone you could see was playing, and you could see the name of the book was on there, so they're both matched up. And every once in a while, he'd pause it, and then he'd take out a pencil, and he would just underline sections, of like things. And then I was like, all right. No. So then I Googled some of the names of the books that he's been reading, and they're all really weird, fringe self-help books that are like either people like saying things like, and like a lot of them are like, I mean, I'm not trying to cast aspersions to anything, but a lot of them are
a little shade.
A lot of them are very strong, like, men need to like become more like what true men need to be, and like stuff like that, just like it's like a woman doesn't feel treasured unless she's fought for, just like things like that. And I'm just kind of like, oh, all right, weirdo. Just like, so I'm gonna keep an eye on him now.
Okay.
Yes, because people can read and believe what they want, and it's probably very
Sure.
It's probably very benign what he's doing, but I'm not jazzed about.
So they're very like well, I don't know how you would classify that.
I don't know how to classify it.
Very like, I don't know, testosterone kind of books.
Yeah, that kind of thing too. And the guy does not. He's like this like skinny little, like, I mean, he's not like a big weightlifter guy or anything like that. He's just kind of. So yeah, I'm just kind of.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know who his kid is?
Yeah, and she's really good at Taekwondo, and she's.
I should hope she knows who the kid is. That'd be really creepy if he was there without a kid. Yeah.
All right. Let us know, Lance.
Let us know.
I will. No, I mean, and so that's one of those things where that's a recent development kind of stuff like that. This weekend I gotta there's a bunch of stuff down here right now. I've gotta clean out. I've gotta my wife and I bought a couch for down here. So this weekend I gotta move a bunch of stuff out of here. So when the couch gets delivered on Tuesday, we can put it in.
Where did
And
the couch from?
then just a furniture store, here in town.
No name, just
Well, it's not a
place.
chain. It's just a local,
oh, okay.
thing. It isn't like I don't even know what a chain of furniture stores would be.
Raymore Flanagan.
Rooms to
No,
go.
Unpainted Arizonas.
There you go.
That's from Raising Arizona. That's the name of the where the guy who runs the Unpainted Arizona, and it's just like all the furniture there is unpainted. It's all wood. You can paint it however you want.
It's not Scandinavian or anything.
No, it's not an IKEA thing. No.
That fucking store.
So
There's a Scandinavian place here called what is the name of it? Let me see if I can look it up.
What, like Scandinavian food?
Like Scandinavian something.
I got nothing like that near me.
You don't?
Scandinavian designs. It's real original.
Mm.
They're just trying to cash in on that.
What kind of couch is it? Anything like fancy?
I mean, it's got the recliners and stuff like that. So it's
Oh,
fancy.
nice. I like.
Yeah.
Is it like a U or like a
Yeah,
sectional
yeah,
chaise?
yeah. And
It's got
so
two
and then,
chases on the ends?
and then there's
Chaise?
and
Is that
it's elect-
chaise or chaise or what do you?
it's
You know what I'm talking about?
it's
chair, yeah.
It's electric, so like you can get your feet up and then it's got the phone chargers. You just put your phone in there and it charges. And,
Wow, I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. So then now
You bet you were-
Check out that couch.
now we just got to get
February.
we got to get the new nice the new nice TV mounted on the wall and
me and Jay were cleaning out the
I
front
definitely
room.
feel old by talking about couches.
Mhm.
well, and so here's the problem is that like I really don't have a good place to move my computer desk to right now. I don't. It'll have to be down here, but I mean it's like one of those things where I just don't have a good spot for it, which kind of stinks. And it'll still not be anything like I want it to look. I mean, it'll be a nice place for my son to play video games, or anyway, the house. A lot of us play video games, but it'll be a nice place and it'll be a good place to sit around and watch movies and what have you. But like I'll still have to work out of this area, so because I don't have an office space here, so it's just kind of like I don't know. But I guess I'll be able to play Fortnite with my son. He'll be able to play it on the PlayStation. I'll be able to play it on my computer. We can team up and slay fools together. So that's always nice.
I was cleaning out the front room and we had an old TV in there that it just wouldn't power up anymore. So I looked into replacing the power, but it would cost more than buying a new TV. So I was throwing it out, and as I was throwing it out, I was carrying the trash bag in one hand and the TV in the other. I was like, I can remember the days where I needed two people to move a TV, and now I'm carrying it with one hand.
Yeah, you can put them under your arm.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other. My grandmother with her, she had one of them furniture, them old furniture. It was color, but it was a tube. Yeah.
Did we ever talk about going when I went to Circuit City and bought a big screen TV and I couldn't fit in the back of my car, so I had to
Yeah, you told me about that.
figure out how to get it home. Those were the days, man.
How'd you get it home, Scott?
I had to take it out of the box and turn it on its side and angle it in,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things I didn't think about before I bought it. Have you heard about the Circuit City grift?
No.
If you I guess there was a time when you couldn't get a job. I guess it was during recession. People were not able to get jobs, and there was a couple year gaps, and then people would put Circuit City on their Circuit City. Circuit City? Yeah, that was the name of it. On their resume, because no one no one would be able
Check.
to verify that you worked at Circuit City because it was all closed.
Oh,
Well, there's a new grift now. Twitter.
Twitter.
They fired everybody, right? There's nobody there.
Yeah.
So you can say you worked at Twitter and there's nobody there to verify. Genius, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that Robert Blake passed away, 89 years old.
Robert Blake.
It's Robert Blake.
Robert Blake, who played Beretta.
Oh yeah. The guy who
then
killed his wife.
no, he was
He
acquitted.
did not.
He was
Well,
acquitted.
Who killed his wife then?
so
Wasn't OJ either.
the
Oh yeah, that was one of those. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, he
So-
carried a gun around too, right?
well, no, so I mean, and I'm not trying to laugh at anything here. I mean, because I'm not trying
Sure,
to.
you're not, but you're going.
But like, he went to dinner with his ex-wife or wife, and they went back to their car, and he said, "Oh, I left my gun in the booth at the restaurant. I have to go back and get it." And so he left the car to go get it, and when he came back, his wife had been murdered.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was his alibi. So
Apparently
the-
it
Oh,
works.
oh my god. Did we talk about the Alex Murdoch trial?
well,
I
no,
don't know if we did.
we can in a second. So, but then
Yeah,
the weird thing about the Robert Blake thing is that, like if it's the Robert Blake trial, then
He must have got acquitted then.
well, he was acquitted, but the civil
Well,
suit
then
against him went through.
he basically
But
Yeah.
if I remember they found a letter or something. I might be misremembering this, but they found like a letter or a like a shopping list or whatever, and it was like get like bullets,
bullets.
gun cleaner, like lime, like all of these things
What?
that were like
That's
How
normal.
did he get off?
and then like basically and then like his lawyer said those were just things that he
Oh, he was
put
preparing for
together.
a role.
Yeah, no, he said that was just a shopping list. You mean for things that he needed, including things that he needed to clean a swimming pool. And I was like what? Using the bullet to get that nasty grime? Can't get
Yes.
that off. I'll just shoot it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he went back to get the gun, was that
He went back to get the gun out of the restaurant.
yeah, and then
But he
and it
left
was
it
not
in
and
the
it was not the gun
It was not
that
wow.
was used to kill
his wife.
his yeah. So well, like I think I don't know, like it was his second wife, I believe. So or maybe
So I guess it was like all circumstantial, and they couldn't convict him.
because he had
Basically.
an alibi for not being near when
He left his
Pretty-
gun in the booth. I
doesn't
don't
seem like a
understand
great
that part,
alibi.
but yeah.
So I mean, who knows? I mean,
Yeah. I don't know how you do it in
Well,
Texas, Scott, but I don't take my gun out and put it on the table when I sit.
got
down to
roped into
eat.
that Alex Murdoch trial, big time. The guy from
Did you-
well, I kind of
Carolina?
half followed it, but I mean,
man. Yeah, really fascinating.
yeah. Well, I mean, okay, obviously, just he was like a psychopath, sociopath, or whatever, that he would kill his wife and son.
And son.
Yeah.
With the idea was that he would do it so people would stop investigating just like how much money he
His-
embezzled or all these
Yeah,
other
his,
Yeah.
his financial crimes were like off the hook. It was
Yeah.
right at the. I think it was all at the beginning of where they started getting onto his financial crimes.
Yeah.
By
I
the
don't
way,
know.
he basically went on the stand and said he did all the financial crimes. So that judge
Well, I'm pretty sure
has
it was. I'm pretty sure.
99 more cases to cover with that guy. 99.
99 more
Isn't
cases.
that is crazy, right? And I don't think he was being hyperbolic. I think he was like, because this judge didn't seem like he was going to exaggerate anything. He was like, I have 99 more cases with you.
I thought he got
or
life.
something like that. Oh no, he got double life.
So that part I
So-
don't understand. Why bother with the rest of this?
No,
Yeah.
So there's an answer to that
Well,
question,
you don't-
and
it's not automatic.
I get where you're coming from, but like it. So like I was listening to like strangely enough, the sports radio station have the father of one of the people that does the sports radio. He is like a very high profile lawyer in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, you know, in the city of
Right.
Minnesota. And so they have him come in and weigh in, and they're like,
Mhm.
well, why, when it seems like everything is like, you know, you're guilty, you know, why do these people plead not guilty? And they're like, because they like literally have nothing to lose. I mean, like, oh, if I plead guilty, you're going to put me away forever. If I plead not guilty and you find me guilty, you're going to put me away for forever. So
Yeah,
there's
it's a game
so
scenario.
the game theory on him saying, yeah, I did all those financial crimes, but those are things that I could get paroled for in like 10, 12 years. I'm not going to get paroled for murder. So here, yeah, I did all that, but I certainly didn't do this, you know, that kind of thing. That's
he had nothing to lose. He had nothing to lose.
Yeah. But still,
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I've followed it. I mean, it's, you know, they did a good job on the prosecution. Honestly,
oh, I'm sure they had everybody
really
watching.
good job. By the way, I didn't realize how much the iPhone tracked.
Yes, it tracks a lot.
It tracks when you push the button and open the screen and
Mhm.
rotate it or not, or
Yeah.
raise, you know, when you raise it up and the light comes on, and like, because the wife's phone, they tracked that it was, because he sent a text from his phone, and then it showed his wife, like at exactly the same time, like 1 minute, showed his wife's phone activated, but by lifting to look at it, you know, that when you
Right.
raise, it's called raise to, you know, and there's some iffy, you know, I wouldn't want to be convicted on murder just because of that, but that was just one piece of the puzzle. But the phone, or her phone, was basically raised to look at, but not unlocked at the moment that he sent that text. At least that's the way I was understanding that they wanted the jury to see, that he basically sent the text, checked her phone to see if it came through, and then tossed it out the window on the same route that he drove to go see his mom.
That is scary
At
that
the
they could
exact
tell.
same moment.
That is scary that they could tell whether you unlocked the phone or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Quite a lot.
But yeah, that's nuts.
Plus all the steps. You know, like
Yeah.
he took certain amount of steps before he went to go see his mom, and they're like, and the prosecutor's like, what were you doing though? Those 289 steps, whatever it is. I don't remember exactly the number, but like several hundred steps he took before he left to go see his mom. He goes, were you on? He goes, I don't remember. He goes, were you on a treadmill?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
I mean,
I saw the Netflix thing on it, but I haven't.
Yeah,
and then really paid attention to this.
The most damning thing is he didn't lie until he had to. He had to lie again. He had to come up with another lie when presented with a piece of evidence that basically killed his whole alibi. And that's pretty much that's the end of it right there. In my opinion. Yeah, like he did not tell a piece of evidence to the police until they found a video from the son's phone, like a year before the trial, like a year after he was murdered. The phone got unlocked. I'm like, it took that long, and they found a video of that the kid took of the dog, and in the background you hear his voice on the day he was murdered. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Like I was following it to the minute, and then all of a sudden Michelle wrote me and she goes, "Did you see that the jury already is back?" And I'm like, "What? It just went to jury like a couple hours earlier." I'm like, "Oh, it'll be weeks before we hear back from them."
Yeah.
Like I was ready to just ignore it for like a month, because that Usually those don't take that long. You know, they take a lot longer.
Yeah.
That reminded me
Especially
of,
if it's a hung jury, right? It'll never.
there's that fantastic scene in Futurama when Zap Brannigan gets accused of, like, blowing up whatever the space station or whatever, and it's like, and then they get done and they're like, the jury will now retire to reach a verdict. You see how the jury gets up and they go through this door and they go through the other, and they immediately
come
just
back
come
right
back.
They just walk around and sit back down.
Yeah, basically.
The prosecutor was like, they probably took so long because they wanted to get the pizza,
Yeah, it could be.
because they wouldn't have ordered pizza if they were done in a minute.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
good pizza.
That was quick.
Gosh, I can't imagine taking a month for that. Although, how long was OJ's trial? It was months, right? And they were
Yeah.
sequestered.
Yeah. That was
That would suck.
That would suck. Can you imagine being sick? Yeah, just
yeah. It's I guess I'm thinking why
Yeah,
would
there
well,
was
I
no
should
question that he was guilty. I mean, he didn't have a lot of legs to stand on in that trial,
yeah.
except his word.
Yeah. That does. Well, we thought he was
I can't.
untouchable.
Did you guys say you watched that OJ show? The reenactment with the.
oh yeah, that was really good.
The
with Cuba-
American
Cuba
one?
Gooding,
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a
I
couple.
wonder if they'll do another one of those.
They've done a couple, but just not.
Yeah, they did Monica
the
Lewinsky,
men-
the most recent one, right?
Yeah, they did the Menendez brothers, Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, they did Menendez.
Yeah, I
I
think
know,
that was.
I know they did Versace,
Yeah,
but I know they did Menendez. Okay,
but
interesting.
I might be thinking of a different.
American-
show. I'm
American
pretty sure.
Crime
It was,
Story.
yeah, I maybe I thought it was them. The Menendez brothers was the American Crime Story.
I always like those shows. I mean, I don't love murder shows. Like every once in a while, though.
Yeah,
Michelle's addicted to them. She watches.
most women are.
What's
Scott.
that one that's on all weekend? I can't remember the name of it. If they rerun it.
It's on all weekend.
I can't remember the name of that show.
The NCIS things or
No, it's a real one. It's real stories.
oh,
I don't remember what it is. It's usually a murder.
that's what sells murder.
The
and
story, I
horror.
mean, it's like 37 seasons it's been on. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh wow,
You would know the name of it if I could think of it. Dateline. Thank you.
Dateline.
Stick H said, yeah, it's Dateline.
I didn't know that was still on.
She turns it on Friday night, and it doesn't turn off till Sunday night.
Really?
It's because it goes all weekend. It's on.
Yeah. Jen's the same way. She likes that Criminal Minds and all that. She'll watch that endlessly.
Criminal Minds. Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever.
It's a dramatized one. It's not a true crime.
It's not true crime.
Yeah, but she does like the true crime ones too. It's the one day I was like, Jed, can we find something other than cooking shows and murder? I need something else, like comedy, something.
Top Chef started tonight. New Top Chef.
New Top Chef.
Yeah.
I don't know if she
I'll watch
watches
that as soon as we get off, though.
that.
You don't need that. You
You
need
don't need-
more,
Although
more
we
murder.
did watch that
Last of Us.
Poker Face. That was a pretty good series. That was just,
Yeah, that might make me sign up for Peacock.
I think it's over. I'm not sure. There might be one more. I think she said it was over, but it was a pretty good series. It's kind of like Columbo, like a modern
Right?
updated
That's what
one.
it was supposed to be, like a Columbo.
Yeah, you know what the crime is, and then they dissect
Yeah.
it. Reverse engineer it.
It's always the famous rich person. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't Columbo
usually.
like always like the actor or the famous person or the like whoever every time? I can't remember. Did Columbo know the killer at the beginning?
No, but we did. That was the whole thing.
We
with
did,
Columbo.
yeah.
Oh, you did?
It always showed the murder happen, And so you knew exactly how it was done, and then Columbo then stumbled or whatever his way into figuring it out. Just one more thing.
Yeah, that's how Poker Face is. She doesn't know, but we know. Yeah, the audience.
Oh, so the audience does now?
The audience knows how it was done, but she doesn't.
Okay.
I can't. Natasha, I think. I can't remember her name. She was on the Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah, I know.
You see
Yeah,
how
she was in that time travel movie too.
time travel.
Yeah.
Russian dolls.
Russian doll. Yeah.
I don't know if I saw that.
I like Columbo.
I always
Now you're making me want to
to
do Peacock again. Get Barry. Stop. How many episodes is it? Are they standalone or is it a series?
Yeah, they're pretty much standalone.
Or is there an overarching story also?
There kind of is, but you don't realize it till the end.
Yeah, I mean,
but you can watch them individually.
Okay.
I think it was 8 or 10, Scott. I can't remember. I think it was 8. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was that Yellowstone thing. I was watching the 1923. That was 8. I think the Poker Face is 10.
Did you guys watch that Yellow Jackets?
No, I've seen something for it recently.
It's kind of scary, right? Like I heard,
I heard about that, but I never watched them myself.
What's
Did
it
you watch
about, Scott?
Mandalorian?
I've watched the first episode. I haven't seen anything. My son and I got to watch the second. We'll watch it tomorrow. My son. So like here, this is
Is
the weird
Grogu
thing.
still in that show?
Yeah, they're not killing him all, Scott. You know,
So
they're a cash cow.
Like about like 6 months ago or so, there was in my local theaters here in town. They had a One Piece movie, which is an anime that my son and I watch. And it was just like, hey, it's a
1,000
One Piece
episodes,
movie.
right?
Yeah, and it's like it's a One Piece movie, and we're like, oh, and so we went to go see it, and it was what it was. It was fine.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad I went. So I went with my son, and but I may or may not have had a little nap at some point during the movie. I mean, it was just kind of like I remember it opened up with this like 15-minute like music number, and I was just like, is this? I was like,
are we in the right place?
Yeah.
Checking your life, like check the phone, like check the ticket.
Well, and we were the only people in the movie theater too, so it was
like,
just kind of like,
is this the One Piece movie? Ask around, like,
exactly.
are you? Is this the One Piece movie? And everybody's like, I don't know.
Oh, this is Russian improv. What are you talking about? No, no. So there's that, right? So another anime that we watch is Demon Slayer, and they have a movie in the theaters right now. We're gonna go to it tomorrow, and I'm just kind of like, it's so weird that these like this stuff would have been in a movie, like when I was a kid. It's like those things.
It was a different scene back then too. I mean, we had more movies.
Is it for kids?
Probably Demon Slayer is questionable, but he watches all of the stuff all the time, so I'm sure it's fine.
Is it in the theater, or are you gonna watch it on?
It's in the theater, yeah. We're gonna go to the theater and watch it. So
I think movie theaters are trying new things because they lost their market. Basically, they lost their audience there for the pandemic. Like,
are you guys still taking any COVID precautions? Are you guys doing anything? No, you just whatever.
It's COVID, huh?
Yeah, just curious if you are or not.
Delaware was done with COVID a year after it happened.
There are definitely times when, like, if I'm not feeling well, I still have a bunch of things that like stuff that I'll test myself.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
I mean, but
well, federally it's done, I think, or is going to be done soon. So basically, the country's.
Yeah, I mean, well, last time I went to the doctor's office, they're like, it's an optional mask. Which it was not optional at all when I first started my journey of medicine.
Yeah, I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago. I still had to wear a mask in there. But other than that, no. Other than the medical.
Yeah, it's now
that's it.
optional. I
Is
mean, I
it?
still wear it, but it does say optional.
Mhm.
And nobody comes, whoever, and all the people who come in don't wear them.
Yeah.
That I've seen.
Oh, you give them an option or not going.
Oh yeah, if it's optional, it's not coming. It's not coming. Yeah, just wondering. Man, I'd be curious to go back and watch some of our episodes when this thing hit and see what we talked, how we talked about it.
Yeah,
I mean, remember like shutting down conventions, right? I mean, it was that was the, yeah. I mean, anyway.
my wife said that like if she's absolutely would consider wearing a we have no problem wearing a mask again, if that was the case. Which
I was just wondering what your current community was doing, if anything.
I mean, I don't know. I guess, keeping up on our vaccinations and what have you, and just.
Well, now there's that new one.
Yeah.
RSV.
I
Yeah.
seen a commercial for one on TV. It's that I don't like that type of shit, but
Anyway, we can talk about something else.
okay.
Well, I mean, we've talked a lot about this shit on
Yeah.
our
This is we went to Cracker Barrel today. Jen went to breakfast.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, we're in a weird, like, there's not really too many diners down here. I'm from Philly, so there's diners everywhere. Yeah, you want breakfast, you
You
go
got
any.
nothing.
Like
No
that
alternative.
down
No
here is like Cracker Barrel. There's a Waffle House and Bob Evans, which Jen refuses to go to the Bob Evans thing. I don't think she's ever been in a Waffle.
They're all pretty bad.
Yeah, but they changed the menu and all that, and it was like we were in there for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, the lady's like, it's the pandemic, we can't get people. I'm like, how long is this going to go on? I mean, what the fuck?
Can't get what?
People to work.
Oh, they can get people to work?
Yeah, it's like,
Really?
what the fuck?
Well, they don't pay.
Yeah,
I think
that
that's
probably
the
could be it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't pay.
but it's not only there. Like Jen's still having problems, and they raised their minimum wage and all that in there, and they're still going in the grocery store. They went to the automated shit everywhere, and now
Yeah,
she said even like going to the meat counter, the deli counter, it's all automated now. You don't even talk to a person.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that work? It cuts
You
it
punch
for
in
you,
what you want. You
and it
pull a
comes
tick.
out, and then just comes out of a
Yeah,
window or something.
the person cuts it and then throws it in a bin or something.
Right,
like
in
that.
a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
So I went through the 2022 economic census for the US government last week.
Okay.
Holy shit, it took me like a lot of time.
Sure.
I'm not expecting to do that much time, but a lot of they asked a bunch of questions about automation.
Mm.
Like they're like to use robots, to use 3D printing, to use kiosks for self-serve. Like there was it was just generic questions for like any business, right?
Right.
But it was all about automation. Like they were asking how many, like, do you hire people? It was like, I forget what's the way any automated systems to help you pack or ship things. I'm like, yeah, no, it's all humans, right? But I mean, as they were asking all that, so I'm guessing the government is sort of now taking interest in automation as I don't know, like, I'm curious why they're asking the questions. I'm trying to think of like, what's the point of them asking the questions? Do they just want to know how bad the job market is now for this kind of jobs? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious what they were kind of getting at.
Yeah, we'll use
3D printing, kiosks, automated checkout, automated packing, robots, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, because usually government's reactive; it's not proactive on anything.
Well, it's just it was the census.
Yeah,
it's called an economic census. Yeah, for business. Anyway,
well, I mean, We've been dealing with this since, the Industrial Revolution, machines taking over human jobs.
Did you launch your Kickstarter, Lance?
Yeah, we funded our go back next level miniatures volume 2. Go great sets of miniatures. We just unlocked another stretch goal. I was like just responding to a comment. So
Is it on GameFound?
no, it's on Kickstarter.
I gave up on GameFound.
No, not giving up. We last one of them was on Kickstarter. We're gonna do this one on Kickstarter.
Have you done a GameFound?
Yeah, we did Last Lighting game.
Okay. Did you know there's a new backer type system now?
Well, I heard Backer Kit is doing something. Why?
No, it's a new one.
Who's this, Scott?
I got an email from it today.
What are you gonna tell me?
I
the
say
story,
it
or-
because I have no idea the name of it. Hold on, I'll tell you. Pledge Box. A pledge manager called Pledge Box.
Oh yeah. And you have anything you want to tell us about this? Or?
No, just got that email asking for a meeting. But I never heard of it before till
Never
Yeah.
heard of them either. But those things I'm always like, we took a meeting with and again, I'm not going to say who it was or anything like that. I'm not trying to be cryptic because I just don't want there to be a situation where people are going to be like, oh yeah, I don't want to be like the person that's talking shit about some company or whatever. But I took a meeting with a group and I mean, these are the things you say, they like, usually these people, they come in and they promise us, the world. And then, and usually my response to that is, I mean, because I'm jaded and I know people, just, or, I just, I was just like, okay, cool. Well, how could you, is it possible that you could do X, Y, or Z? And just kind of like one of those things where, prove to us you can do it, and then we'll happily pay, right? That kind of thing. You kind of give them a standard where it's like, and like Shane has, like you said, to lots of things, where it's just like, okay, cool. If you can hit this mark, I will pay you that money. I'll pay you that percentage you want, but I'm not going to do that unless you can hit that mark. And usually people are like, I don't know how to do that. There was absolutely a like social media improvement company that, and I might have told this story slightly. I'm not, once again, not gonna mention names, that we had employed at one point, and they were like, oh, it's just like, hey, it's time to re-up, for the social media stuff that we do for you. And we said, okay, well, can you give us the stats of what you show us what you did for us in the last, whatever, 6 months. And then they showed us, and we were like, okay, well, that's not good enough, and they're like, oh, well, we feel like with these improvements, we could easily do this, do X. And then so Shane's response was, well, I was paying you for that and didn't get that. So tell you what, he said, if you can get me that over the next 6 months, I will pay you double than what I paid you for those last 6 months. But if you don't hit it, we're not going to pay you anything. And they declined. They're like, that's okay. And like Shane's response was, because there's going to be a sucker that's going to pay them what they ask for, and they're gonna under deliver again, but they're still going to have the money because they know they can't hit the numbers that they're saying. It's just a pie in the sky type of situation. And yeah, I mean,
Right.
was
So you think like they, yeah, okay, I understand.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, because, oh, okay, well, there was that, okay, we'll think about it, we'll get back to you, and they never got back to us.
Yeah.
And they just, because they had somebody else who was like, there was a small board game company that was 2 people that didn't have the time to do Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, and they wanted to turn it over to somebody else who would then just go into any one of those number of automated things and set up, the automated things for that month for that company, and then fire and forget it, and then collect the $1,000 or whatever that they were going to pay them for that process. I mean, Do you ever watch the Escapist reviews for video games and stuff?
I used to.
I don't usually watch the reviews, but
What's
there
his
is
name?
like Yahtzee
Yachts. I
Kershaw.
was gonna say Jigsaw. I think.
Yeah.
Why did I say Jigsaw?
So
Yachts.
he posts like these video blog things where he talks about how like basically how the video game industry has changed and altered and what have you. And you had a good one today or yesterday that was he said how like the what was it, how did he say, yeah, you have to watch it, it's really good, it's only about 7.5 minutes, and he does detail it pretty well, but he talks about how the games that are running on the process that is like a Fortnite, you know, which it relies on that continuing revenue stream that just keeps pouring in from the people that are devoted to the game, right? And like basically like that's on the way out. And how it will be like the industry will have switched over to something else. And the reason why he points to it is because for every game like Fortnite, there are all these things that tried to copy it and tried to, like, you know, like an Apex Legends or Realm Royale, or, you know, there's a ton of them, right? That tried to make the exact same thing, and you perpetuate it. And why? Because like people thought this is a good way to make money, and they were going to try to make money off of this. But the problem is like he said, look at like World of Warcraft, where like, yeah, there was like Ultima Online and EverQuest that, like, you know, kind of fussed around and tried to do the MMO, but then when World of Warcraft came, it was just better than everybody else. And then it had a gajillion people subscribing. And then immediately after that, everybody had an MMO that tried desperately to like basically do World of Warcraft. But all those died off. I mean, like every single one, think of all of them, like the Matrix Online, Star Wars Galaxies, EverQuest 2, there was tons of them, right?
Age of Conan.
Yeah, Age of Conan, perfect. Yeah, and he said the reason why is that they couldn't do anything is because they, like, the number of people that are available is not an infinite number. There isn't infinite money out there. There's a finite amount of money, and in order for people to come and spend your money with you, you have to take them away from the thing that they love. And nobody was going to leave World of Warcraft. It's where all their friends were. It's where all their stuff was. It's where all their characters were. It's all the time that they had spent. They're not going to just all of a sudden decide to up and leave that and go play something new and start fresh. And he said, so that's where they're, and so it's actually really good. It was also a little depressing too. So
what's the future?
I mean, and that's what he said. He said like right now, but he said that the problem is, he said there's lots of really good video games that are coming out right now, but nobody knows what they are because of the fact that it takes time and effort. He said to make the thing that's already making money takes no extra effort on your end at all. You know, you just, and that's what makes the people that are shareholders and stuff happy, because it's something that everybody wants. But you have to take a risk to create something new and hope it sticks. But that's where the good stuff is going to be. And it was cool. I mean, it was one of those things, and he kind of pointed to a few games that like just basically were released without fanfare that were just excellent games that now are getting, you know, like I think he mentioned like Spiritfarer. It was like a game that just, you know, came out of nowhere, not a big studio, but everybody just gushed about it. Everybody who played it thought it was just fantastic. So stuff like that just like, and
which game was that?
Spiritfarer. I've gushed about it a few times here. Actually, there's a game called Dredge that that releases on the 30th of March. I'm absolutely going to get it. It is a fishing sim, but it's like Call of Cthulhu fishing sim. it's like you
Ooh.
have to go through your like maintenance of like taking your boat out and going and fishing and
The
earning
fun
money,
stuff,
selling your
yeah.
fish, you know. But there's like a whole world where there's this weird Cthulhu mythos thing going on with like sea monsters and strange spells and things like that. And you like, and it's called dredge just because you dredge you dredge like these sunken ships and find all these artifacts and things like that. It looks super cool. It looks super fun. So
I'll try to remember that one.
yeah. Well, you can pre-order right now or put it on your wish list on Steam right now.
I'll wait till it comes out.
It's called Dredge.
Dredge.
I've been looking for a good pirate game. I was actually thinking about Sid Meier's pirate game.
Yeah, you just need to it's like $5. And just get Sid Meier's Pirates on Steam and just play that.
I've been thinking about it. I finished up that Black Sail series.
Sea of Thieves is pretty fun,
It got me in a pirate.
but it's multiplayer. You can play solo, but it's probably more fun multiplayer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have
Yeah.
much to say about that. I mean, I don't
That's
know.
all I gotta say, but
The
Yeah, this looks pretty good.
dredge.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks super cool. I am absolutely going to yeah, I'll pick that up. I got on my wish list ready for it to reveal. I emailed the company asking if it was at all possible to get an early key, but I didn't hear back. So gotta get my Forest.
Yeah, talk to Forrest for that.
Yeah.
Let's start a
Get the,
Fiverr.
Yeah.
I wonder how what was that game? I Am Your President? Is that
Yeah.
what was you jazz about? It must be fun to live in
I'm not
Forest
sure what
World.
you saw in that, honestly.
What?
I Am Your President.
It was stupid.
That was.
I don't know. Maybe the power thing, to destroy the world. I don't
know. I think it was just one of those things where he hadn't ever played a game like that before.
It could be, yeah.
Maybe so.
But for him to say that was going to be one that takes it by storm, no, not at all. I mean, good on you for believing, but
He's got high hopes.
he definitely has high hopes.
Yeah, imagine if he played Civ.
I think Civ would be too much for him. And I'm not saying he's dumb or anything.
Oh, I know,
don't
but
think
just,
there's-
yeah, like
it's way too much to maintain.
Yeah, it is. What are they up to that? Like 7, 8, 6?
I can't
I got a
remember.
buddy who still plays it constantly. The most recent one,
Yeah,
and like never stops.
Civ 6. Is that what they're up to? 6.
6.
It came out in 2016. Yep. Hold on.
The 6th one. Someone.
I don't know if there's a newer one than 6.
I'm wondering if that type of game is going to die out. Like you were saying, the MMOs kind of died out. You don't think the Civ games will?
I don't believe so. Yeah, it looks like 6 is the newest one. I don't see a 7. I will be right back.
Okay.
Be right back.
We'll be here, Scott. How's mom, Lance?
How's my mother?
Yes.
Oh, she's fine. She was more than annoyed that there wasn't an Alaboom last night. So
Why was she was waiting to see you?
yeah, I mean, just she usually texts me if there isn't one. She's like, "Is there an Alaboom tonight?" And I'm like, no, my wife came home early. My wife's supposed to come home My my wife was supposed to come home Thursday, and but she decided to come home a day early. She paid like $20 extra to come home early. And then like, which was fine. I was super happy that she came home. So but yeah, so like I was just like, well, she'd been gone for almost a week, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna hang out and chill. And that's what I did. So there you go. And that's all I got to say about that.
That's all you gotta say about that. I was thinking of her earlier. Me and my wife were talking about the yard. I was thinking about your mother with the beets, the harvest.
Well, she retired from that. She worked beets for a long time, but she finally gave up on it and stopped doing it.
It comes a day.
Yeah, I mean, she just doesn't really need the money and just was like decided she was done, so.
Well, why did she do it? I'm sure she didn't need the money before. Was it just something to do? Or...
Well, I mean, she.
I'm sure some years she needed the money, but I mean,
well, no, I mean, I don't think it was never a situation where my mom and my stepdad needed the money. It was just one of those things where I think it gave her, I don't know, for lack of a sense of purpose. I mean, like,
I get that,
and making, and she could work, whatever it is, like work the 3 to 4 week harvest and make $5-6 grand,
yeah,
which isn't nothing. So,
yeah.
I mean, I would kind of lose my mind a little bit because she'd always talk about, oh, I'm just so tired. I've been working. I was like, Mom, you don't have a job except for 3 weeks out of the year, so I don't really want.
That's why she's so tired. She's not used to it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Like, I tried not to be. I don't know.
And she's 20 years your senior at least, Lance. So give her a break.
30.
30? Okay.
No, like 28, 27, something like that. Yeah. So, but meh.
We were talking about my mother. Jen's father's birthday passed last week, and she was saying how old he was. She asked me about my mother. I was like, I have no clue, Jen. She was 21 for at least 30 years. I can't actually remember her the year she was actually born. I think it was 56. Yeah.
Have you seen any games coming out anytime soon that you were interested in? Board games? I have to say, there's not much. I mean, when is Gamma?
I don't know.
Like, isn't it like coming up?
Yeah, it should be. It's usually around the time.
Anything coming out? It's in April, I guess. I guess it got some time. But I haven't seen anything.
Oh, didn't you hear Earth?
Earth?
Isn't that already out?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But that's the game. It's
That was
gonna
like
be
a
the
year
best.
ago.
It was I know that might have been a Kickstarter.
Magui. Connor, right? Did he design it? Or was that he only published it? Maxim Tardif.
I never know anything.
I don't know who. I never. I mean, Diver City, Earth, Brilliance.
I mean, you're the guy that runs the
site.
review.
Yeah,
I've not really.
You run the site. Why does?
I don't know. I mean, just haven't seen anything lately.
Doesn't Eric usually do?
I mean, the top 10 games right now are Star Wars, the deck building game.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one. I mean, I guess that's going to be like,
it's a 2-player game. Looks like.
Is it only 2-player?
What's it? Star Wars, the Rebels and Empire go head to head. Let's see here. 2 players. It is a 2-player game.
I guess it's like that game where you fought stuff in the middle of the table. What was that called?
Yeah, I remember.
Buy the monsters.
Oh,
Attack the monsters. What was that one? I can't remember.
Yeah.
So let's just go through this. This is just the the hotness on BoardGameGeek.com.
Sure, let's go through it.
Number 1, Star Wars, the deck
That's
building
right.
game.
I
The
wanna
Rebels
play
and Empire go head to head and to eliminate one another's bases. Fine.
Mhm.
Number 2, Dragon
Oh.
Eclipse. Manage your cards and energy to brave your way through this fantastical realm.
Okay, that's a new Awaken Realms game.
Ooh,
Yeah.
By the way, 2024 on the date.
2024.
Yeah, that would be a little
A little far off, yeah.
far off.
Hegemony. Lead your class to victory. Simulate a whole contemporary nation in this asymmetric politico-economic Euro game.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Is
I
that
mean,
out?
like 8 years ago, me would have been having like,
Yeah, I'd be all over it.
2 to 4 players. Trying
Is it
to.
out? The question, I wish I knew. Yeah, I almost wish we did have a currently out or not. We don't have any way to do
I
that.
mean, it's one of the designers of Among the Stars, which was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I like Among the
Yeah.
Stars.
Oh, I like that.
And but again, I'm like, are you ready to play a 3-hour game about running
Yeah,
a
90
country?
minutes to 180 minutes. 2 to
Yes,
4.
I'm ready.
No, I am not.
Mhm.
Just
Somebody is
like-
ready, Scott Lance.
No, they absolutely are. They absolutely are, and more power to them, right? Station Fall, a game of blackmail and betrayal, murder and mayhem. This is a game of blackmail and betrayal, murder and mayhem, danger and destruction. I need more run-on sentences.
Oh, I remember this one. I thought this was cool, actually.
It's Matt Eklund. So
Matt.
That's-
Yeah.
yeah, Matt Eklund.
Yeah, I remember this now. Is it out now?
That's Phil Eklund's son. And he's
Yeah.
he's an extremely nice guy. I had dinner with him at Essen, and I ended up talking to him a lot. And he is a DA. He's a district attorney.
District Attorney.
Yeah.
I like the cover of this one. It's got a monkey in a spacesuit. Right, escaping from an exploding space station. Like, did the monkey destroy the space station? This actually looks pretty cool. I want to play this one.
Well,
It looks complicated though. Oh my gosh, look at. Can you share your screen? Just so we can-
$85 pre-order from. You can pre-order it right now if you want it. That is a lot of really tiny text.
I know. That's what I'm
You know, this is me. I was like, this game looks super cool. This is a game I really want to play. This is a game.
I can't read.
This is a game. This is a game that a person that was me would
Would
have already put in his pre-order. But I'm like,
Oh man,
no.
it's really.
No, I mean, because it'll never play it. I'll never play it. I mean, honestly, it'd be one of those things where if I could get my friend Cullen to like buy it and then read and teach me how to play, I'd play it. But I'm also just like, no, thank you. No me gusta. I just don't,
Wait, what'd you say?
No le gusta.
no me gusta.
What does that mean?
Just I don't want.
Yeah, okay.
I
Can't remember if I backed this one or not. I don't think I did.
Yeah. Earth.
Earth.
I mean, when
Yeah, I want to play that.
when the Whirligig Games comes out with their remake of the morphium or no the opium trade, like a troubled, God, what was the name of that thing? Like it was, I played it once but it was almost impossible to get a hold of it now. No, I can't.
Looks like I paid for Station Fall and with shipping, so I should be getting it.
Should be.
I'm making sure I don't have a person that says, please finish your pledge, manager. I have no email that says that. I have the order, it's finished. So
Well, if you decide you don't like it, let me know. And
Okay.
In infamous traffic.
it'll be in the BGD library.
I'll know where to steal it.
That's an older game, right? Infamous Track.
Yeah.
That's
So yeah, create supply chains to conduct the opium trade in 19th century. And I played that.
but that's on the
Yeah.
hotness.
No.
Oh,
So like I don't normally like whatever, but like I wasn't able to get a hold of a copy of that when Hollenspiel had it. And so but I played it and it was really good and I liked it. And supposedly Cole Worley is working on a streamlined version of it. And that'll be his next one that they do after they did Pax Premier Deluxe, and then they did the John Company Deluxe. And so now they're gonna do that one Deluxe. So anyway, so I'll get that. I mean that's one of the few
share your
things.
screen so we can talk about these things, these hotness
Oh
games.
geez, you're like a dog with a bone. All right, hold on.
Why, Scott? Why do you put up with him?
Why do I put up with you?
I'm like a dog with a bone.
Because
I
if
don't
that
know what
would,
that means.
You just won't give it up. You just like.
Well, I mean, I want to talk about stuff. Let's talk about something.
All right, here we go.
try to share his.
Can you see now?
Can you
Yes.
see me now? Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So
hotness.
okay, so we talked about Earth. Apparently
Earth.
that's it's from
Is it good?
I don't know. It's from
thought
Inside
you
Up
played it.
Games. Our buddy who's his face?
Yeah, we
in
gotta get
Canada?
Connor back on here to talk about it. He's
Yeah.
all like too big for britches now.
Oh yeah.
Sons of bitches. West
Frosthaven.
Remember
he
what was
pedaled
that
the
game?
metal.
What was that Connor game we played at
The Gorus Maximus.
Goris Maximus? We had a lot of fun with that.
No, we had fun with that.
We had fun with it, but I don't think we had fun with it.
Yeah,
Fun with
despite-
that, but not with it.
Despite the game, we had fun despite the game.
Despite the game.
He pedal the metal is good. That's just a good game.
Yep.
It's solid. I mean, like I played it
Yes.
once, and if somebody, like you said, if somebody had it set up and said, "Hey, we need another player," and I didn't have any place I had to go, and there wasn't another game that I'd rather play, I'd play.
Okay.
Brass Birmingham, we're well aware.
Yeah.
Arc Nova, I don't.
Have you ever played Brass Birmingham?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
but-
yeah.
yeah. I played both original Brass.
I've
and
never
Brass
played it.
Birmingham.
I've never played it.
Yeah, I played both also.
It's really good.
Yeah, I need to play it.
Arc
Let's see here.
Is it a long game?
yeah,
Yes.
both
It's,
of them.
yes. It is
Complicated?
not.
No, not
yes.
really.
Well, I mean, it depends on who teaches it. I mean,
What's the weight?
Um,
3.9
yeah. I
out of
mean,
5.
it's got some.
It's got some meat.
It's got some meat on the bone. Yeah. Arc Nova, we've been over that.
Yeah. Good.
Cerebral.
I like Arc Nova.
Cerebria is like this. This has got to be, yeah. So I don't know why this is already springing up. Maybe did they announce they're coming with an
Is it-
expansion for it or something?
Is it shipping? I mean, I guess it shipped eventually already, right? Yeah. Why is it on the hunt?
Who knows?
knows?
Cerebria is from Mind Clash, and Mind Clash seems to be like, we're gonna make really complex games that nobody actually plays. But Tricarion was good by then.
Man, I really wanted to like Tricarion.
Dune.
Oh, you didn't like Tricarion? I like Tricarion.
I don't like planning.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
don't like planning actions. I really
Dune
don't.
Imperium, that's extremely solid.
uh,
Wow,
Yes.
Gloomhaven already down to 15. Oh no, that's not the hot.
That's a
this is the
hotness. Wait, what's the
Okay.
ranking? Go to click the ranking.
Just okay. Hold on.
I mean, I'm 3.
3 already. What a
Yeah, already.
amazing.
Come on, 3.
How far they fall.
Yeah. Nemesis, meh.
Man, never played.
Stalker, the board game.
Oh, that's a new
Exploration.
expansion for Nemesis.
Exploration, tactical compact, and adventure within the known Stalker universe.
Who's making that?
The Stalker universe? I didn't even know there was a Stalker universe. Oh,
Another Awakened Realms game.
Like your rooms.
Ugh,
Yeah, it's a video game.
I'm
It's like a
unfamiliar.
Russian thing.
Spirit Island, we've heard of that before.
Man.
Unmatched, I played Unmatched twice, and I didn't like either time I played it. So
Which characters did you play?
Huh?
I don't even remember. It just wasn't fun.
Was not fun. Okay.
Oh, look at this age of contrived. An age contrived. This tickled my fancy.
Belief.
Secure mortal belief to lead the Eldranic pantheon into a
Exactly.
new
Like, what does
age.
that mean? What does that mean?
It's a fantasy ground engine
Secure
building and
mortal
resource
belief.
burning. You play as a god in the Eldranic pantheon, where you are
What's an
only as
Eldranic
powerful.
pantheon?
just their own made up one because they probably didn't want to say
Is that an
Christian.
Eldritch or
I
is it
don't know.
Christian?
Where you're only as powerful as the unstable will believe you. The goal is to establish themselves as the pantheon's prevailing god by securing mortal belief.
But look at the pictures; they're good. I mean, I backed it.
Sucker.
I guess it's already over.
I guess. Oh, it looks cool.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I mean, the colors look great, and the graphics look interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what an Eldronic Pantheon is.
You'll find
Something
out
they
in the
made up.
rule book. Yeah, there's backstory.
Terraforming Mars, Wingspan, Eggs,
Eggs.
Europa Universalis, the price of power. Mobile Champions, Revive.
Have we played Revive?
Don't even know what it is. Revive civilization 5,000 years after the fall of humankind.
Ooh.
A friend of mine backed this, and they played it at the Gathering of Vikings. I didn't ask them. A bunch of dice rolling. Scarface 1920. They said they had fun with it.
I backed it too, but I don't think I'm gonna play it.
No, when else?
Final Girl. Everdell.
Just that the team doesn't do anything for me. Huang. I backed Huang.
Huang was
I backed
Huang
Huang.
about?
I think it's Huang. Huang?
Long.
Huang?
Huang?
Yeah, it's Tigers and Euphrates. Or yellow and Yang's.
Oh, it's in China? Tigers Euphrates in China?
No,
Look,
that's
it's Reiner.
no, it's the remake of Tigers. It's the third version.
Oh, okay. What was the second version?
It's the Hex Yellow and Yangtze.
Okay.
Are we done?
Well, I wasn't going to go through the entire hotness.
Okay. Why not?
Apparently, Lance is done.
Well, I just wanted to see what the top 25 games on the
We
hotness
skipped
were.
Final Girl.
Well, Final Girl. I mean, everybody knows that.
I've never played it. Have you played it, Scott?
Yeah, solo.
I haven't played it.
Yeah, it is a one-player game.
It's good. I mean, you could play multiplayer. You could just like co-op it.
I forget why I didn't. I think it was the cost of it. I couldn't see you spending that
expensive.
much for one
Yeah, and
solo game.
It's an interesting thing. Like, if you buy the base game, it comes with no game, which
Really?
is kind of weird, right?
I was like that other one that
I'm always confused with that. Like, why didn't they put one scenario in the base game?
Oh, there's no scenarios in it. Okay.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Unless they made a new version. But if you buy a Final Girl and no expansions, you will not be able to play it.
That is weird. Yeah.
Because yeah, it's just the pieces to play it, but no, unless I'm mistaken. I mean, I'm pretty sure that. I mean, I feel like it should have had at least one scenario.
So it's like that.
Because I mean, I don't know, maybe they never will sell in a store, but like you can't really, like, if all the scenarios are sold out and they have the base game there and you buy the base game, you can't play it. Okabuki says I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's a weird skew. I
So
like
it's
the
like,
game a lot.
yeah.
It does warn you. Okay, it warns you you need a scenario.
That is a weird model. Like that. What was that Space Goat game or Space Cowboys? What was that? Remember, you had to buy like each individual scenario separately.
Yeah. Oh
That is a weird
I wanted
model.
to like that game so much.
So did I. But you had to go back to the beginning every time.
What was the name of it?
I'm trying to remember.
Time Stories? Time Stories.
Yeah, Time Stories. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So excited to play that the first time and we loved it. And then it went downhill.
Horribly wrong.
Although I like the Marcy experiment. Was it Marcy?
The cassette player looking one?
Yeah, the cassette.
Yeah, I think it was the Marcy.
I thought that Darcy? Marcy? I can't remember. That one I liked a lot. And then most of the other ones I did not like.
Yeah, I got a couple of them I didn't play. I can't remember. I did remember.
And
Marcy.
there was one that actually made one of the players a traitor in the game, which
Really?
sort of sucked. Yeah. I forget which one that was, but it was like one of the scenarios, like turned a guy into a traitor. Like he became evil, but we
Right.
didn't know it. So he was basically trying to not let us finish or something like, I don't remember exactly. It was a few years ago.
I remember thinking the same thing about this, about time stories. I did this this last girl or final girl. It's you're spending all this money later on for the game, basically. Like time stories are like $25 a pack or something, right? I'm sure this was some equivalent to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised that that model survived. Because Final Girl took off, from what I understand. You know, it was a pretty big hit.
Oh, Final Girl sold 1 million,
Yeah.
even more than that, I think.
I can't believe there's that many people that want to play a solo game. I guess
Well, we had a thing
That,
called
that I
Pandemic
can
and a
understand.
lot of solo players.
Yeah, that I can understand. There are a lot of solo
It
players.
birthed a lot of solo gamers, Lance.
maybe.
But spending
Maybe.
that, like I said,
Not
spending
maybe.
that much on a solo game, you know, that
I mean, video games are solo games
yeah, for the most part.
for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If I'm gonna play a game solo, I might as well just play a video game.
Well, that's you, Gramps.
Why? And you know what? There's millions and millions and millions of people that have the same opinion as me, and a
Yeah,
lot of
but
them are
there's
board
millions
gamers
and
as
millions
well.
of that.
The right opinion, Lance. That's the right opinion.
So I mean, it's not that people can't have fun playing a board game by themselves. I get it. There's a lot of analog people out there, and I love the idea of playing a board game. I mean, I'll say this: I've
Do you?
really moved away. I've really moved away from like the whole I need to play a game with 7 billion bits. You know, I mean, like that's another reason why I really like playing Acropolis. It was like I got gray cubes and
And a
tiles,
tile.
and
One tile.
that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I'm taking this tile and I'm putting it down. I'm taking this
Uh,
tile and I'm putting it down. It isn't like
Guys, you don't like
okay.
Carcassonne.
I mean I play Carcassonne with my daughter all the time.
Okay.
Like
I thought you
until she
did
gets,
like
wrong.
He
It's
doesn't
a
like
bit of a snore.
There's
Yeah.
there's a co-op version that came out last year that no one's talking about.
What
Yeah,
is
there's a
it?
reason why.
Mists of Carcassonne. It's like a horror.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
look.
like ghosts and graveyards and all kinds of scary stuff.
Jen still likes playing that. We still play that.
I mean, I think it's pretty good. It's a good thinker.
Not looking at that. Carcassonne kind of lost me when they started getting into like that individual themes, that Pacific Island type one, and then you know,
Did they do it?
yeah, I have. I forget what the name of it is.
I don't think the city ever came back into print. That was when we sold at the flea market for
The city.
$30. I think it was $30.
Oh, yeah. I remember looking at the
That was
game
mine.
store. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that came by and eyeballed it,
Mm.
and one person eventually ended up buying it.
Give it the eyeballing.
Well, you know, because we had like all the juicy games at the end of the table,
Ooh.
Mhm.
and people and I, you know, we were like kind of hawking it, you know, watching over it, just to make sure no one like tried to put it in a $10 pile. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of people came by and looked at that one. No, like, what is this Carcassonne the city? I'm like, isn't that funny? Like, time is a funny thing.
Yeah. I can see people doing it now because especially since there's so many new
Yeah, well, I
new
mean, there's always
people.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I should.
Yeah, but you know, other games like that we think are common knowledge.
Yeah.
You know,
I wonder why they never did reprint that. I guess maybe it was because because it had
cost.
like it had like
Yeah.
a bunch of wooden bits. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, they did. Didn't they do a fancy anniversary version of Carcassonne?
Yeah.
So they could have done the same thing. You know, I'm sure.
They do giant versions of it, like huge boxes filled with Carcassonne.
Yeah.
$150. You can buy it on Amazon.
Ooh. I don't know if it'd be $150 worth.
$149.95 being sold by the Comic Bag. Also, in the Board Game Geek Marketplace, there are about 30 copies for it. 16 copies for sale.
16.
Yep.
What's the cheapest on that one?
Let me see if I can find out. You get one for 35 euros, German version. 115.
Hmm.
Oh, 110. The German or the English second edition, which I don't think came in a nice box. I think it was just a regular Carcassonne box, like a regular, didn't come in the wooden
Yeah,
box.
I don't remember.
Nobody uploads any pictures. Okay, there's
Oh, it's an
some-
old game.
upload
Yeah.
a picture.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's some for sale on BGG. I mean, you got to pay over 100.
I'm sure somebody will eventually find. Well, I don't know. Are there really collectors like that anymore?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, could they
The
even?
board game marketplace keeps making every year, man. Keep guessing what it's doing. Did you see that company went into liquidation? We talked about last week.
What company is it?
Holy Grail.
Holy Grail, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, went into liquidation.
It's too bad. You want more? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, publishing games is hard.
oh.
I'll say that all day long.
We know. We hear you all day.
Curious what the next big news thing will be. I mean, that's two big companies gone. Heartbeat.
Was Holy Grail really that big?
Were they? But they had some big games, right? I mean, they had like Encyclopedia and
Yeah,
Museum.
but I mean, nobody was talking about Encyclopedia like, oh my gosh, I mean, there was nobody like being all. At least I
Well, I
didn't
mean,
hear
they-
anything.
Yeah, I guess it's.
I didn't walk into
Probably
a.
not.
I didn't walk
I
into
thought
a
the Rally Man-
convention.
I thought the Rally Man was pretty big.
Well, but they just got the license to make Rallyman dirt. I mean, it wasn't like.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. Again, I'm not trying to admonish them by any means. It's just kind of like, let's see, Rally Museum was their big one. I'll say that. Museum was a good game, but it was ultimately very forgettable too. I mean, I played it once and I was like, it got the I never need to play that again. So, but I don't know. All right.
Oh.
Well, I already said it was going to be an early evening. I'm sorry. It was Thursday Alaboom. I'm just kind of like tying the knots together here. I'm super tired. It's been a stressful week. I just need to get to the weekend, and I think we might not have an Alaboom next week because I might be in St. Louis doing work for the boss. That was another reason why I wanted to do this, in case I didn't have an Alaboom. I'll try to I can bring my laptop with me, and maybe I can do it from whatever hole he sequesters me in to get some work done. But if you're not part of the,
Are you doing the shipping thing?
I'm going to do some shipping stuff, and there's some other stuff I got to take care of. But if you're not part of the Alaboom Discord, you can. That's where I post if I remember. That's where I post.
So next week, yeah, I'll be free next week, but I think the week after that is when I'm going to be doing pinball stuff. So
The pinball.
Ooh,
Texas Pinball Festival.
Wizard.
Ooh. Who you going with, Scott?
Lincoln and Nikki coming in town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're dragging Nikki to the pinball machine?
She likes pinball.
Oh, does she?
Who doesn't like pinball?
Oh, Michelle was the one.
Oh, this is an interesting thing. I mean, talk about more pinball. Do you remember the documentary Going Cardboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lady who created that posted a Kickstarter link to a pinball documentary that she is producing.
Oh, yeah.
So I
That's cool.
backed it.
Of course you did.
There you go. I don't know if they're gonna make it though. Needs 20K. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Nah.
It's looking like it's struggling.
Yeah.
Well, they're not offering any real stretch goals, which is, I mean, they have one. I did one stretch goal. The one thing that has a stretch goal, I bought that one, but it's on the higher side, I would say.
Hmm.
But maybe they'll fund, maybe they won't.
Maybe they'll make it. Who knows?
We'll see.
Maybe they will. I hope they do because it looks nice. It's a nice looking pinball documentary, and
All right.
there probably isn't very many pinball documentaries out there.
Yeah, probably
Probably.
not. Yeah, probably not.
All right,
All right, boys. I'm gonna, like I
maybe
said,
two, maybe
I'm
probably
gonna go to
3,
bed.
maybe
Yeah.
4. Yeah, it might be a while.
No. We'll have one. Well, it just if I
If you do one next week, I'll be there, but probably not. the
well, it just A, if I'm in town, yes. B, if I'm not in town, drag my laptop with me and I can do it then. So,
What he said.
Well, have a good trip.
Yeah.
well, I haven't left yet. So, all right.
If you go,
Thanks for the
Yeah.
rare. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to the rare Thursday night Alaboom. And I will.
yep. Thank you.